Donald Trump may very well be the worst Republican presidential nominee since 1860, but Hillary Clinton is clearly the worst presidential nominee since 1789. None of Trump's vulgar remarks or childish tweets can be defended, nor can they be dismissed. These issues, along with his rapid and recent conversion to republicanism, his seemingly light knowledge of the philosophical underpinnings of our constitutional republic, and hints of constitutional overreach in some of his policies, clearly are evidence that Trump is not the ideal constitutional conservative Republican nominee many of us hope to be voting for this November. In fact, he is not the primary candidate I voted for. However, his recent quote-unquote first 100 days speech, he laid out several conservative policy positions he intends to bring before Congress that could have an enormous positive effect on our economy, as well as our international relations, domestic security, education, and much more. This country right now needs business and personal tax cuts. We need reduction in federal employee headcount. We've got to slash the burdensome and unnecessary regulation. We need border enforcement and localization of education. These are all Trump policy items that he's laid out, and they're items that Republicans have been asking for from the inept and leaderless Congress for over 6 years, to no avail. I dislike, and maybe you do as well, much of Trump's discourse and prefer that he abandon some of these agenda items like tariffs. But these shortcomings are surely not enough to stay home on Election Day or panic and vote for Hillary Clinton? Come on. For anyone to not see that Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt, dishonest, and ineligible nominee to run for the presidency is either not informed or willingly complicit in all that she has done and intends to do. Hillary's issues aren't just a few raw comments or insensitive remarks, some missing check marks here or there on some official forms, or a couple minor errors. Over the course of her career, Hillary has plotted and schemed. She has scammed and lied, she has cheated, stolen, and covered up every ethical and criminal violation to get to this point. Her career endgame, president. Moreover, her history isn't just a minor accusation here or there cooked up by some outlying political wacko in his basement. And it's not some 40-year grand conspiracy cooked up by some secret organization. Hers is a successive compilation of one crime after another, where she is somehow just one step ahead of law enforcement. This is a person with no moral or ethical code, except that which further and enriches her power and her wealth. It has been shown time and again that she will say and do anything. She will burn whomever she must burn. She will ignore the rule of law. She'll violate the rules. And she will destroy evidence, all the while being praised by a fawning media, an ignorant electorate, and willing accomplices, because her election will further their political and socialist agenda. The list of her ethical and criminal violations is long enough without also trying to list her failures as First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State. And there's no room here today for all of her dangerous socialist policy schemes. The sad thing through all of this is that many of you know these issues, you know these facts, and you know that there are only two candidates that can actually win this election. And it's either going to be Trump or Clinton. Only one of those two are going to be president. But you still cannot bring yourself to vote against Hillary by voting for Trump. In fact, some of you are thinking of voting a third party. I'm sorry to say, voting third party in this election is like attacking the enemy's flanks when you already know they've erected impenetrable walls. In the meantime, you've thinned out your frontline forces enough to allow the enemy to walk all over you. This is not the strategy to effect any kind of change. It's strategic and political suicide. If you're voting third party because you want to send a message, I hope you realize the people in charge of the parties and the levers of government are not listening, and they don't care. They've not gotten a single one of the messages or hints that any of us have sent to Washington. A third-party vote more likely ensures Hillary's election and the opportunity for a morally and criminally corrupt individual and her cronies' power over our government and the political processes whereby she can forever twist things in favor of herself and her party. A situation that could make third and fourth party creation in the future virtually impossible. I want you to seriously just consider what kind of permanent damage can be done by someone who's emboldened by a lifetime of public corruption without any consequence. We all know that Donald Trump is no angel, and he may very well tear the fabric of the Republican Party. I'm not even sure that's a bad thing. And it is likely he's going to create some constitutional damage that future presidents and future Congresses will have to clean up. But Hillary Clinton, based on her history, is guaranteed to burn the fabric of our republic and destroy any semblance of individual liberty. The former, the Trump damage, that can be resown. It can be done by strong constitutional leaders and liberty-loving people and future constitutionally bound leaders. The latter, Hillary Clinton's path, will leave our Constitution in the ash heap of history, or it's simply going to be blown away by the swift winds of socialism filling the vacuum, a massive bureaucracy that has no tie to the electorate. I emphatically urge you to consider that voting for Trump is the only strategic way to stop Hillary Clinton. She is working to fulfill her lifelong criminal pursuit of the presidency. Make the decision today that you'll vote for Trump, not because you like him, but because you love this country and you want to see our constitutional system live on. After you voted, spend some time every week learning about Trump's policy positions. Then you can press Congress as a knowledgeable voter in either support or opposition to that policy. Otherwise, join an organization trying to change the business as usual status in Washington. You can even become active now in a third party or political group trying to oppose these two major parties so it actually has a viable chance in 4 years. Or join the Convention of States movement. This is a great group. They are working state by state to restore our constitutional republic by amending the Constitution and wresting power away from the bureaucrats, the lobbyists, and the career politicians in Washington, D.C. I know the choices are not great, but not going to the polls or voting for a third party or even going to vote for Hillary Clinton is surrendering. And there is no doubt, based on her history and what she has stated as her policy positions, that she will grow the federal government. She will increase our debt. She will burden the American people, American businesses, with massive bureaucracies, more regulation, higher taxes, and ever-increasing debt. Do not give up. Do not surrender. Voting for Trump is not a surrender. It is the right way to stop Hillary Clinton. Do not let her be rewarded with the presidency for a lifetime of corruption.